game to game. The last game, I think we were about 2 kills to 2 at 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I would be very surprised if that was the case in this one. I think we're seeing first blood happening very quick.
I'm going with 12 seconds.
You're wrong.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm definitely wrong.
I'm
But I'm
already
going
going to
Price is
win this.
Right 12 seconds.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So you have to, I mean, you say 13 and you win.
I can't pick over. Yeah. I'll give you this one. I'm going to say 4 minutes into the game.
4 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, you're likely to win this bet.
Yep.
If you win, I'll give you a high five.
But it's Price is Right rules, so I
Yep.
gave you some window.
Yep, 359.
Yeah.
Make it happen, guys. I don't care which team. Doesn't matter. I just want a high five from chat. I've never gotten one ever before. I've been longing.
That is a lie, sir.
Prove it.
When you win the bet, I might give you one.
All right, there's the sign. Yes,
All right,
thank
Bubba Dub.
you. Thank you for that Bubba Dub sign. I appreciate
MVM.
that. MVM Bubba Dub. Here we go. If they ever lose Complexity, the sponsor, let us rename the Most Valuable Mustache. Build a team around Bubba Dub. Find other mustachioed players to join up here. Bubba Dub is on, and he's going to learn that stun. Spamming the W out there. 8-second cooldown early on. But it's going to burn through half his mana pool and then have stuns ready. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. But stun doesn't do anything if the team's not with him.
I mean, it still stuns. Just doesn't help much.
It's true.
You could miss.
Wow, he burned so much mana. Normally people wait on the fountain for just a couple spells. It's down to 100 mana by the time he got a stun. Charged up and ready to go.
Okay. It's regenning back. Decent enough champion pool, getting about 2 per second here. So, see where that one goes. So far, these guys are spreading out in the standard battle lines in this one. But we now have gotten in. We talked about how much people love Sivir.
Yes.
And we kept seeing Sivir Caitlyn lanes, and the Caitlyn kept winning those lanes over and over again.
Yeah.
With the Caitlyn ban, it's going to be a little bit easier time here. And he's got good cover with Annie here from Bubba Dub to cover the lane.
The Ezreal lane against Sivir is still pretty potent for the Ezreal. Qs are very, very good against Robert X. Lee, especially considering if Moorland's a single bubble. Ezreal's very good at following those up.
Yeah. I want to explore that matchup a little bit because
Yeah.
Nami's bouncing heal and bubble are pretty well telegraphed. You can generally spell shield them, but I know you can't spell shield the Tidecaller's Blessing, the auto attack slows that Nami gets. And so if you start losing a fight, you're just going to get repeatedly slowed for up to 3 seconds, and Vasily can keep chasing Robert X. Lee down. And that's the thing that I'm going to watch for if it goes bad.
Yeah, I'm going to track more skill order on Nami as well, because she's one of the supports that changes in skill order almost every game. Sometimes you'll see the Max and E in a winning lane, heal in a losing lane. We'll have to watch how their aggression trends. You got E at level 1 for that harass.
Yeah. You start with a slow, 15 damage per attack, I believe. And the Doran shield supports on both sides there. Who's going to get the push in first? Looks like Ricochet's going to do enough to actually put coL.Black in the lead on minions, and the Ricochet's kept hitting more.
Yeah, he took a fair bit of damage there. Should have been a little bit farther away from the minion line as those ricochets were coming through, but just a little bit harassed. Doran's shield is magic, and he will be healed up to full before we know it.
Or we know it, especially when he hits level 2 if he learns the heal second. So he got enough of a mana bar to just spam those away. We look at the mid lane here, Probably on Gragas, Xiao on Lulu. Looks like this is a bit of a minion lead so far for the Lulu. And there's actually still some minions to kill as well, so a small deficit early for Probably. We saw the top lane a second ago in Westrice falling significantly behind to Ackerman, only 3-9. So, gotta say, laning phase, you said it was an aggressive early game, good team for LMQ. It's showing that way so far in the very first few seconds.
Yeah, definitely shoving up as many lanes as they can. Bottom lane got a little bit outshoved, but Xiao is going to be wanting to get as aggressive as possible early on. You know, Vasily and Moore are the one lane that can't necessarily shove faster just because Sivir is the lane shoving AD carry. The more those Qs Vasily can land, though, the more likely they're going to be able to push back Robert X and Bubba Dub.
See what they can find. Those are hitting champions and not minions right here. No name. Looking for the mid lane. I don't know if you can quite find this.
No.
I don't believe he got spotted on the way around.
He would need Prawley to body slam in for harass before he goes, and that's very unlikely. Plus, there's no guarantee a 2v2 would work. In this minion line, there's the body slam in, but there's no Pantheon.
Finds a slow, deals some damage. Xiao shields himself. Otherwise, he's all right. And now, no follow-in for Lee Sin as well. Broken Shard just waiting around in the wings. First gank, though, no name for the top lane.
He's waiting for a counter gank at this point.
Oh, he might just find a real one, though. Westrice sees this.
Yeah,
knows he's
so
under
when he
fire.
got ran towards, he was actually worried that there was Broken Shard behind him. That's why he moved up towards Westrice, because he was going to hope to catch a 2v2. And look at that!
The flash done into Westrice. I don't know if he wanted this one. Running under turret, though. Ignite is on, and here comes Broken Shard. Finds the shield. Ackerman runs.
No!
Oh, the Ignite ticked! Oh my god, first blood. Broken Shard is there. That's going to make it 2. Wow, what a start for Complexity.
What a misplay by
Oh,
LMQ.
yeah.
They tried to get over-aggressive, and first off, as he was tanking the turret, they didn't have enough damage to finish off Westrice, and second off, he over-tanked the turret and ended up dying and giving up double buffs to Shyvana. That is a huge boon for Westrice, taking that back to the lane.
2 games in a row, 2 first bloods given up by No Name. That's a no-no for you. That's not what you wanted to have happen. Your bottom lane, again, the push lead for coL.Black. Different targets, though. Revenantly goes for 1. Spell Shield on the bubble works out here. Barrier pop by Vasily very early on. The fight's still going on. More losing some health.
Yeah, and the barrier is pretty much useless for Vasily, which means Robert X. Lee and Bubba Dub might want to continue this aggression. They got to be careful, though. Pantheon is stalking them from behind, and they do not have wards. Dive in mid as well.
Uh-oh, it's going to be the mid lane fight. Looks like the kill comes in there for Broken Shard. Having a good game, 2-0 and 1, but here comes No Name. They find more. He stays in too long. Bubba Dub, leave him alone. Just let him die. Just let him die. Or just walk away. Screw it. That works too. The flash, Q. Vasily has no mana and he's not in range. No flash. They don't get anything for it. Are you serious?
Fights so far from coL.Black. What a start for these guys, because they're not the ones that picked the all early game team, yet they are the ones that get 4 kills at the start. Everyone having a hand in those kills. That was every lane individually pulling off something good.
That was incredible. And Broken Shard, part of 3 of the 4. Early boots of mobility coming in to cash in the 2 kills and assists. So Lee Sin still looking to make some things happen.
Yeah, that's an aggressive move there by Broken Shard, trying to have as much lane impact as possible. Not necessarily farming himself up. That's not the way Lee Sin necessarily works. But if they can keep this up, they're going to force this 3rd game, because team composition-wise, LMQ, they have to win early.
Yeah. Unless they get something crazy going on here. Broken Shard moves around. Pink Ward battle.
Remember that game where Snoopy walked by the pink ward
Yeah.
a bunch of times?
Not this time.
Not this time.
Snoopy's not in this game.
Pink ward of his own.
Yep.
Was able to find
It got spotted, though. So I feel like if you're going to Pink Ward that, I don't know, I feel like you almost want to check first and then be like, maybe they don't know I warded it.
Oh!
Ooh, does not quite get the knock back on a Xiao. Lulu walks away, dodges the Q, safe.
Yeah, but look at this top lane. Westrice really trying to put the hurt on Ackerman. Normally, Renekton has the edge in this matchup until about level 8 or 9, and then depending on how much he's won that matchup by, can continue. But since he gave up those double buffs early, they gave up 2 kills. It's actually Westrice trying to turn the tables right now.
And it's an interesting build from Ackerman, too. He wants to keep bullying, but also wants to not die, and he's going for an early Hex Drinker here. Both level 6. Westrice already has popped Dragon form. Ackerman has Dominance available. Xiao and Broken Shard about to find each other. Good damage in. The Q's going to come through. He's got a teammate, though. Watch out. That's going to be No Name. Broken Shard, can you get away? You are level 6. Can you get out? Barrel comes in. Kill picked up. A little bit too eager there.
Yeah.
One going back to LMQ.
Way too eager. Probably would not have been able to jump over and support that even if No Name wasn't there. That was definitely Broken Shard pressing and paying for it.
And he's going to pay for that one with his life. A couple hundred gold going the way of LMQ, but it's still a 1,500 gold lead for Complexity so far. They're in the black this time.
And a gank bottom, because they know Xiao was content mid lane. There's no wards to see this approach. How tipped off are LMQ going to get, though, as Prawley comes barreling through.
There's no ulti for him, so it's going to be a smaller barrel.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have too long on that ulti. It's going to be up in about 10 seconds if he can just wait it out, but he's going back to mid because the huge wave is hitting his turret.
LMQ plays safely enough. Minions go down to the mid lane turret. These guys are going to trade farm for now. Very few minions separating these guys, but the kill gives Robert X. Lee a BF sword compared to the Sheen of Vasily. So if they can dodge the Qs, there's no damage coming out from this Ezreal.
Yeah, interesting first buy there by Ezreal. Definitely just trying to last hit a little bit more. And that also tells me they're planning on being passive in that lane. More mana means a longer amount of time he can just sit way back and try and last hit with his Qs. Sheen is not necessarily a dueling item. It is a poking item for Ezreal.
I think part of it as well is he didn't have enough money to afford Phage and was like, I need something.
May as well complete an item.
Yeah, might as well get Qs.
Yep.
And you're right? It allows him to sit back and spam and play from far away. And it conveniently had 1,200 gold for that one. So the recall comes through. Still, minions are close. No Name has hit level 6. Now, Broken Shard played this champion last time. Had really good effect early on, but then fell off a bit. I want to see if No Name can have better effect mid-game there. coL.Black on top of a pink ward. Go for Dragon. No one's even trying to stop him here. So they've bought a 1,400 gold lead and going to try to add to that one. Taking a Dragon. Pretty secure right there. 136 per member.
Yeah, and to talk more about No Name Broken Shard and that matchup, it'll be especially curious because No Name got outplayed early on in the game twice in a row.
Yeah, he did.
You know, both times he gave up his double buffs, which is a big no-no for junglers. That is one of the worst things you can do early on in the game, and he's done it both games right here. If he can come back from that, it speaks to their team.
Knock back to Xiao. Q lands as well. Probably just going to take that as the advantage and back away. Finds another knockup. Already wasted the shield. He probably is really trying to win this matchup.
Yeah, the most annoying thing about landing against you. Never mind, Pantheon gank.
All right, Sivir has ulti, pops it. Who's going to spell shield up? Stuns on above it up. So much damage coming through. That is going to be a dead Annie, but here comes Lee Sin. They look for more. Q is flash away, but Vasily now on the chase. Does not have flash, does have barrier. Dodged by Broken Shard, flash by Robert X. Lee. They get the first kill, but the fight comes back in.
He's still alive?
Vasily's not going to die. Finally goes down. Broken Shard forced to run. The flash in from No Name. Rebbuff makes it a 3-for-1 right there.
That was a great gank right there. Fighting top as well.
Going to see if Westrise could take down Ackerman. Ulti's popped on both sides. Ackerman down to about 400 health. Does have an empowered Q available when he wants it. Gets some HP. Westrise can't bully the lane just yet.
Yeah, that bottom lane gank, though, was impeccable by LMQ. The bouncing heal from Moore's Nami kept Vasily alive so much longer than was expected. He actually has 4 points in that ebb and flow, so it's healing for a lot as it bounces. That's what he's maxing since they're playing that lane so passively. Also, they comboed the stun from the Nami bubble really well with the Pantheon stun. Just everything going well for that. That is a huge aggressive play, but more importantly, incredibly necessary if LMQ wants to win this game because they are an early game team and the Pantheon was behind. If that gank backfired, they may have lost the game straight out right there.
Well, they made the plays happen there. Looks like mid-game Pantheon faring quite well. Started the game 0-1-0. He's now 2-1-2. No Name making a name for himself in this series so far. Only 600 gold separate the teams, and that is with coL.Black having an extra kill and an extra dragon in this game, and it's still this close. By
the way, when you said they're going to go for more, were you saying they're going for more kills or the support? Because
maybe both.
Yeah, that would have been clever.
It was clever, Jat. I'm glad you picked up on it.
Bubba Dub got bubbled.
Bubble Dub?
Not quite.
Bubble Dub? Come on! The groans from the audience.
Yeah.
Really? That was good!
I'm blaming you for that one.
By the way, Jat, when was First Blood?
It was like 4 minutes and 40 seconds.
All right, you win.
Yeah.
I owe you a high five. That was a really weak high five, though. It's okay. You only get what you deserve. All
right, I'll see you later.
All right, solo casting, guys. Here we go. More puns all the time. LMQ sitting on the back foot in their bottom lane. The minions are still going Complexity's way, but we've seen the ganks time and again just work better with No Name there on the side.
Yeah.
Man drops back available. Broken Shard looks mid, but not near anybody.
And something really interesting is that Broken Shard started the game so well on Lee Sin. Pantheon all coming in again. Bubba Dub gets caught warding.
Uh-oh, it's going to be the tidal wave. Robert X. Lee is going to spell shield the tidal wave. And here comes the Annie Tibbers with a jump back in. No Name taken down, and Tibbers not going to do too much now. Bubba Dub looking for more here. Can he find it? Q lands. That's going to be a dead Nami as well. Fire beats water this time around. Vasily now stuck under a turret. Boomerang Blade. Tibbers takes it. Bubba Dub not going to make the plays just yet. But a good fight.
Yeah, even so. Knocked into the turret. Let's see if he can turn more.
What a flash by Xiao, and the single minion left alive tanked a turret shot for him. Probably still looking, though. Ignite is on. Q's going to land. No flash, of course. One more body slam could seal the deal. Drix from the cask. Flash. Does not get it. This is not good for Prawley. Little Lance lands. That's a kill. Xiao with the outplay.
Prawley feels really sad right now.
Prawley does.
About that. But that was just so much action.
Oh, yeah.
Right off the bat. Maybe to talk about the start of it. The counter gank that time of Broken Shard. I was going to get into a point where Broken Shard started the game so well, but then hadn't made an impact afterwards with those boots of mobility. This time, the boots of mobility really came in advantageously for him because it allowed him to get to the fight earlier. And if Prawley could have curbed his aggression there, it would have been better for coL.Black overall. That's actually the second moment in this game with Broken Shard's gank earlier being the first right near this blue buff that we're seeing right now, were 2 moments that they've kind of let LMQ back in the game. You take away those 2 moments of over-aggression, it's actually 7 kills to 3, and Complexity would be in complete control.
Well, they're looking for the mid lane right now. Nobody's there to defend this one. 1 turret to 0. They got the bottom lane off the prior gank. looking to capitalize the mid lane off of Xiao just recalling from his prior fight. No shows up to defend. He's going to have 2 people here now, but look at the damage coming through. There's 1 turret shot left. Stun comes in, not blocked, surprisingly, by Robert X. Lee. But that mid lane turret now down to about 1/5 of its health bar.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of pressure on that, but as long as Xiao is sitting there with his blue buff, the minion wave's never going to arrive there. One thing to mention about AP Lulu is when she does have her Athene's Unholy Grail and the blue buff, it is so much easier for her to deal harass because he attaches the E to the enemy and then gets 2 glitter lances off that are nearly undodgeable.
Yeah, picks last on you for, I believe, 6 seconds. The base cooldown's around 7.
For the glitter lance.
Yeah.
So once you get enough cooldown reduction, you get 2 of them almost guaranteed.
Yes. Just felt like spelling up the numbers there. Xiao? Yeah. It's a tag team.
Helpful.
We're a team here, chat. We both
Agree.
get credit when we say something smart, which means you get credit for my puns.
Those aren't smart.
Well, mid lane's still under siege. Actually, a lane swap a bit here by Complexity. They're going to send their dual lane mid to keep the pressure on. But Xiao, just clearing waves by himself, probably went bottom. Kept the lane in good repair here. And the Dragon now up in 2 seconds. As the top laners keep brawling back and forth. Let's see what happens here. West Rice has the ulti. Still getting chased on a turret. Ackerman can't find anything else for this one, though.
Yeah, West Rice has been farming a lot in that lane since having an early edge. As the Dragon's going down as well. Okay. Pantheon coming in.
4-on-4. Mandar comes in. They're going to go for the Dragon first. They pick it up. The battle has begun. See what happens. Shyvana does win the battle in the top lane as well as the Dragon pickup. Let's see what else these guys can go for. No name, bit overextended. Damage coming through, but the Lulu keeping him alive. Body Slam shows up. Broken Shard finds another kill. 5-2-2 for Broken Shard. Putting the team on a backpack.
And by the way, West Rice soloed Ackerman up in the top lane. So another huge across-the-map win by coL.Black. Dragon plus 2 kills, and now a 4, maybe 5,000 gold advantage if they can get down these turrets.
We'll see if they can get the mid one as well. Xiao has a mana bar, but probably Robert X. Lee say, I don't care if you have mana. We have minions, and they have enough health to survive. Another turret goes down 2-0 on the map. West Rice going to recall back with his finished Sunfire Cape already done. And I got to say, this is looking much better than Game 1.
This is a big lead right now for Complexity. Also, Robert X. Lee's Sivir has the potential to run down a lot of LMQ team members later on in this game. The Shyvana top lane as well is outscaling Ackerman.
Yeah.
Huge boon.
He's already got a minion and level lead.
Yeah, look at those items he was able to complete. 2 Mercury Treads and Warden's Mail, which he did not have when he soloed Ackerman.
No, that was Boots 1 and a Sunfire Cape. Ackerman basically upgraded Merc Treads and added a Negatron Cloak.
Yeah,
so
1,300 gold he has on him in the top lane. There's also a 1,200 gold lead for Broken Shard. The gold on Lee Sin is a little bit misleading, though, actually. Generally, you don't want your Lee Sin to have that much gold because he is mainly a facilitator, and he has put so much into vision control that the combat effectiveness of Lee Sin isn't proportional to his gold lead. That's something Complexity has to keep in mind here.
Yeah, it's largely in his levels. Did go Ruby Sightstone. Wow. So, yeah, very few combat stats, less combat items, completely the no-name. But you got to think with coL.Black winning the game pretty well and facing an early game team, they're like, okay, if we don't get ganked sillily, I don't know what the word was supposed to be there. If it's not silly. Anyway, they get the wards down.
Foolishly?
Foolishly, thank you.
There you go.
Revived. We're good. Gonna miss that one, but they'll get ganked foolishly. They use the wards, should be in okay shape.
And if they don't over-aggress.
Yeah.
That's one
thing
doing that. They've done a little bit of. And it's kind of why Broken Shard has built the Ruby Sightstone. The reason they have been winning these fights in the first place is because he has had the mobility advantage on the Pantheon, which is kind of crazy to think. Pantheon has his Grand Skyfall, yet Broken Shard has actually been ahead of him in most situations.
Done some really good things here. Ackerman now on the back foot in the top lane. West Rice killing minions between the turret. Broken Shard finds no name again. Both these guys level 10. Jumps back in. Not going to go for the kick just yet. Could have knocked up Xiao. Doesn't care about that. Smite onto the Wraith. Going to go Broken Shard's way.
Yeah, it cost him half his health bar, though.
Not worth it.
Probably not. That was one of those situations where he almost put himself in harm's way again.
Yeah.
He's got to be really careful with those ward jumps.
Okay, so doesn't find too much there. Looks like Ackerman happy to last hit under his turret. There's some ward coverage for West Rice. He's put 1 down near the blue buff. But you got to know he is available to be jumped on if no name wants this one. Up 1 level. Has Dragon form. Does not have flash, though. No, probably looks to make a play. He's going to walk into Ackerman 2v1
look out.
in the brush. Body slam lands. Ackerman, no flash, does have ulti. Not the correct direction. No name probably going to cancel that ulti.
Slice and the dice. Yep, he'll get that cooldown back for Grand Skyfall. Doesn't cost him if he doesn't jump. It is a turret, though, for coL.Black. Nice rotation.
So 5.4 thousand gold. 20% gold lead right now for coL.Black. The blue buff respawns. These guys have owned this side of the map for a while, largely thanks to West Rice. No Name, though, wanting to protect his own buff. Can he make it happen?
Well, they're collapsing from both sides. How quickly can Broken Shard get there to continue this harassment? They will have a numbers advantage if they can sustain.
They look for No Name. No flash on that guy. Knockup comes in from Lulu. Ackerman rejoins the fight. Some damage coming in from Prolly. Where's the knockup going to go? Drinks for himself. Ulti, of course, actually down. I take that back. Westress in the backline. But there comes the rest of Complexity. Tidal Wave is massive, but they find one kill onto the Renekton so far. Ignite's going to make what happened, though. Knocked down. Bubble Dub into the air. Bubble Dub not going to be too happy. Here comes the Man Trap as well. 2 kills picked up. Nice Q from Sivir. The team forced to disengage. 2-for-1 fight for LMQ.
A good collapse there by LMQ, being down in gold, but finding the right moments to initiate. Vasily was very slow coming back up, and the fact that the ultimate of Ezreal hit so many of coL.Black was a big reason they were able to come out there. Also, the fact that Gragas ultimate was down turns these things, all these little small advantages that can make up for a gold deficit coming into these fights to make the fight more even. You can see this chaos here probably couldn't really have a big impact, and it was mainly the tidal wave here that really gave him the edge. When the tidal wave hits from that far away, it's like a 4+ second slow on everyone for Complexity combined with Clear Lands. They are crawling away, which makes the bubble easier to land. It means they all have to burn flash, and it meant LMQ could still get kills afterwards.
All right, so now 7-10, the gold lead, only 4,500. Now bringing it closer is LMQ. We'll see if they can make it a 2-0 and take first place in the first North American Challenger Series, or if coL.Black can fight back, be the huge underdog, and say, hey, you know, there's a reason we're coL.Black. We're the dark horse. We're going to prove it here. Vasily and Moore chilling down in the bottom lane. Equal minions now between the AD carries. Their gold's got to be pretty close as well. Trinity Force done. Zerk Greaves, and now going towards a Blade of the Ruined King here for Vasily. Personally, I like that build.
This is a rather odd game right now. There's been so much aggression. So much of the gold has went on to Broken Shard, which he has turned into mobility rather than combat stats. And I actually feel like coL.Black is pressing right now. I say this because Prolly has built a blue elixir when he's still working on his death cap. Almost always you'll see a Gragas just save as much gold as possible and go for a death cap. When you build a blue elixir like this, it means coL.Black is looking to have some very game-changing fights shortly. With the dragon coming up, that might be the next thing they look for.
Well, if they get the dragon, it's going to pay for itself here if that ends up being the tipping factor. Level 13 on Prolly.
And he just drank the elixir, too. He didn't even wait for the fight.
He wants to be here for the battle. A lot of damage going down on the dragon. It looks like they're not even going to care. LMQ not going to position for this one. Pink Ward in the dragon pit and nearby in the river, going to secure vision control. Westrice holds the top lane by himself, and nothing is answered for that dragon take. Well set up by Complexity.
I thought that was like the intimidation elixir from Prolly, because he saw the enemy and was like, I'm gonna make you watch me drink this elixir so you're more scared of me right now. And then they didn't go for dragon.
I'm going to make you watch me drink this elixir.
Well, otherwise they might not have noticed.
I mean, sure. He's glowing blue, and you're like, why? It's not the blue buff. It's the other blue buff. All right, so still the wave clear from Xiao Xiao. 206 minions at 220, or 22 minutes, I should say. I want to see where this one goes. Okay, so the top laners are still advancing in their builds. Ackerman's been holding onto the Giant's Belt for a while, but has finished Spectre's Cowl. Westrice more and more tanky, and he's only worried about receiving physical damage. He's really not caring that much about Xiao Xiao's soon-to-be Lichbane Lulu damage output.
No, not quite. Oh, Westrice, look out.
Okay, well, he can become a dragon. Bubble's going to come down. Now he can jump away. He doesn't choose to. Goes the other way towards his team. Pops Randuin, puts a ward down, and he just does not care.
He's pretty tanky right now.
A little bit.
As we can see. There's a very lacking amount of damage from LMQ. That's the danger of going Pantheon Renekton. They're both really early game bullies, and when they give up that early game double kill, they're just getting outscaled right now by Westrice.
Yeah. And
this is the strangest game to watch right now, Freak, because I feel like any other game where it's 39,000 gold to 33,500, you know, 5,500 gold lead, and the enemy team has a Pantheon or Renekton, it should be over.
Yeah.
For the most part. You're just, all right, they got outscaled, they lost the early game when they shouldn't have, and the game is over. But just the way this is playing out, the way LMQ is kind of positioning and withstanding, they've only lost 3 turrets. coL.Black isn't taking any major advantages. There's a littering of wards on the map. Look at that, 5 pink wards.
Oh,
everyone has a pink ward on the map right now.
Team objectives.
Yeah, but I still feel like coL.Black needs to do something else big to get this. The game is definitely not over right now.
So I have a question for you on this one. So because the assumption is here that these champions sort of passively outscale,
Yeah.
By just getting the late game, they're better. Are Complexity okay, like just like waiting and saying, well, at 60,000 gold we'll for sure win? Or do they really need to press this gold lead?
Well, here's kind of the dangerous thing, the complexity to get into. Lee Sin doesn't necessarily scale well unless his teammates do, because he is more about finding fights and positioning people. And no matter how well Gragas scales, his unreliability, because all he has is skill shots, makes him a dangerous scaler late game. If he misses his skill shots, he is a non-factor in team fights.
Okay.
So that could be two people that are weaker. Sivir and Shyvana. Shyvana really is the main one who is outscaling right now.
Okay.
There is still a danger that this game gets turned around by LMQ if they find the right fight.
See if they can find it here. One thing to point out, as you talked about them trying to deal with Westrice, who's built a bunch of armor. Normally with Pantheons, we see them build some kind of armor pen, but No Name went into Hexdrinker second, then into tank.
Yeah.
So he really doesn't hit Westrice hard at all.
Nothing to touch him.
One
There's
thing to
no
look
armor pen on anyone on that team. Trying to find a fight in the jungle.
Robert X Lee puts a spell shield on, knocked up by Lulu. Can he get away? The fight has begun. Not great for Robert. He's going to flash towards the background and keep on running. These guys are safe so far. Complete disengage.
Look at
from Mandrop.
Westrice, though. He's deep.
He's on the other side of the map, but he is alone versus two. He's got nowhere to go. Flashes the wall, nicely dodging the Glitter Lance. Little dragon trying to chase it down. Nice bubble from Moore. Now can the chase come in? Flash by No Name gets the stun. That's going to be a kill picked up right there.
And that was a 4v5. Probably was off on the other side of the map, farming around. LMQ is going to persist.
Okay, broke a shard. He's going to... Ooh, the Glitter Lance again. Like, heavily dodged right there. Doesn't land a slow. Kicks Lulu back. That's kind of the wrong direction there. They've got to be careful. They're outnumbered. Broken Shard's still running Vasily, finding something else to do. Ackerman with the Ignite. Broken Shard's going to go down. That was greedy.
Yeah, and that was just a bad fight overall by coL.Black. They exposed themselves in the enemy jungle during a 4v5 situation, and LMQ capitalized. It doesn't matter if there's a gold lead if a Gragas who's holding 7,000 or 8,000 gold isn't involved in the fight.
Yeah, they're missing more than the gold. They're missing the champion itself as well. And now the mid lane under siege. LMQ pick up 2 kills, and they turn it into something. Look for the mid lane. Ulti comes off by Prawley. Will spread the team apart. It's going to buy at least one wave of time here as Prawley gets his mana back in. We'll see if LMQ can make it on the next wave, as Westrice is coming back and going down the mid lane.
Yeah, this is going to turn into a really good game for you.
Yeah.
You can already tell here. LMQ is just playing so well at a disadvantage that they're poised for a comeback almost, despite being down 5,000 gold, that they keep finding those fights where they're 4v5, or rather 5v4.
Sure.
And just kiting around. They have a very kitey team with the mid lane Lulu and the Nami.
See what they can find with this one. And it's weird that Complexity are the team with 2 Ruby Sight Stones, and they're the ones getting out-positioned around the map.
Very strange.
They had the 5 pink wards all across the river, by the way, 3 of which got swept out over the course of that last fight. Siege looking for the mid lane. These guys aren't pressing very hard, though. Respecting a lot of the engage that LMQ has. But they've only got, what, 2 ranged champions, and Sivir's short-ranged.
And I'm still really interested, you know, this mid lane Lulu is something we're seeing more and more of. How well it really scales. Right? Because we know Lulu is super strong in the early game. And AP ratio-wise, you know, damage-wise, bad. Right? It's 0.6 on the Glitter Lance and like a point. It's overall, I was doing it, maybe a 1.1, like total AP ratio for damage.
Okay.
However, the other AP scalings, like the fact that the Glitter Lance slows for a higher percentage for longer when it scales up with AP, or the move speed from the shield gets so ridiculously fast.
Yeah.
That augmenting your other team, how valuable is that late game scaling? I know in the last CLG versus TSM game we had today, if Link would have been alive for some of those fights and was able to put the move speed on double lift, I think he would have been untouchable. There's that factor that Xiao Zhao can put in, putting 1,000 health plus shields on people with Lulu that could really keep them in this game late with Lulu.
Well, something we saw with Orianna as well, and you actually mentioned CLG. I remember watching them play with Ori last season. They would leave the ball on double lift the whole time. They would just keep pressing E over and over and over again.
mid-laners.
Yeah. And then was like, okay, when we finally need to go into the battle, okay, then we'll move the thing around. But they would always kind of prioritize the protection on the AD carry. Well, coL.Black looking again for their another Dragon for these guys. They've not given any away so far this game. Mandrop comes through. Can they get it in time? Smite comes through.
This could be the fight.
It's going to be again Bubba Dup in the front lines, taking a bunch of pain, but the knockback there. No Name into the background. Knockup's going to land only onto Prawley. 1 for 0 so far. Bubba Dup is safe. He survived that engage. Ackerman now in a bad spot. Lulu ulti comes through. Will Complexity keep fighting? These guys kind of sitting in the middle here, waiting out the timer. So much bonus health on Ackerman. Team looking to maybe regroup here. It's going to be the runaway from Prawley and Broken Shard. It's a 5v4, and LMQ are the ones chasing.
Fantastic Gragas ultimate by Prawley in that fight. Completely isolating No Name so far away that Xiao could not even get the Lulu ultimate down on him. So a nice objective there by coL.Black, finding an opportunity, forcing a 5v5, getting the Dragon. Yeah, you can really see No Name just gets completely blown away into the whole team. Moore tried to flash into support, but that wasn't it. And then the rest of the fight was actually a little bit scary. coL.Black had used most of their burst, could not really get a clean engage. That's how kitey this LMQ team is, and they just end up walking away. It's a very fast Renekton, by the way.
Yeah.
As he tried to chase him down.
He had 2,000 health, shields coming through. Xiao could keep slowing people, using him as a font for, I don't know if font's even the right word. A focus, though, for picks. He puts picks on him, throws Glitter Lance out of him. Xiao targeted Ackerman with E.
Yeah.
I don't think font's the word.
A proxy for it? No.
Yeah, proxy's decent.
Okay.
The proxy picks.
A vehicle for his Glitter Lance?
A vehicle for picks for the Glitter Lance. We're good. We're good. The Symbiosis is strong with LMQ. No Name back through his jungle. 3-4-3 on him. Again, he's had rough early games pretty much every single time in this series. Comes back in the mid game. Teamfight's going hit and miss. Of course, we've seen some amazing ultis come out from Prolly so far. Puts another one down, actually. It's a battle with Vasily.
Oh, no.
That's going to get won by the Chinese AD carry. Vasily taking him out.
Oh, dear.
Ruin King Trinity Force, 4-1-4. Yeah.
That shouldn't have happened.
It did.
He gets the Blade of the Ruin King off and was able to heal himself up. Probably used everything in that fight. That's a big advantage for LMQ. An individual play right there.
Yeah.
It's going to get a lot of team gold back for Complexity.
There wasn't Ignite for Prolly. The
for
lifesteal was enough. Yeah. Big for LMQ. Only 1 kill down. 5,500 gold. Rest Rice knocked up there. Not too afraid of Ackerman. Actually chooses to fight a little bit back.
West Rice is pretty untouchable.
Yeah. 4-2-1.
Yeah.
3.5 tank items. He's going to go probably full tank this build.
Surprising.
Visage and GA, maybe?
Yeah. If West Rice had a Blade of the Ruin King in this game, he could definitely make a much larger impact because, yes, he's unkillable, but he's not killing anyone. He's pushing people back, but not helping his team convert. And especially with the unreliability of a Gragas and the low damage of Lee Sin, there's a chance they need an extra damage dealer that West Rice could have been since he had such a lead in this game.
Yeah, if Gragas only hits Ackerman, like, how does that guy even go down? They have low damage jungler, low damage top lane. Sivir, not the best single target damage champion.
Not necessarily. Depends on the spacing of the team fights, too.
Sure.
Sivir is fantastic against teams that are more likely to group up in team fights because the Ricochet will hit everyone.
Yeah.
If LMQ spaces properly, they can really neutralize the damage output of Robert X. Lee.
See if they can find it. No shield coming through for either team. No locker to the Iron Solari that I can see so far. Mikhail's the focus here for Moore, and Mikhail's does heal percentage of max health, so would be good on No Name and Ackerman. West Rice again down to half, running backwards there.
Look at that slow.
Oh yeah, pretty powerful. Death Cap coming soon, by the way, for Xiao. So even better CC and haste. Don't do it, Broken Shard. Doesn't.
The Lee Syndrome just about took him out there. LMQ is full health.
Yeah, and West Rice is down to half. I feel like he doesn't want to fight when he's this low.
This is a really hard team to close out on.
Yeah.
LMQ was down 6,000 or 7,000 gold a while ago and has just persisted. It's still only 3 turrets to 1. They were down those 3 turrets forever ago, and the push by coL.Black has just completely stalled.
Completely, you're right. There's nothing going on for these guys. 3 completed items here for the mid laner, Prolly. 3 completed items for Robert X. Lee. And he's stopping building damage to go towards some more resistances. Only 1 death in that champion for Robert X. Lee's Sivir, but decides, you know, I need a Banshees. Or at least some MR. Ackerman and Prolly in a battle. Very tanky Renekton. Prolly's going to sit around for this one. Does not go for the ulti onto Ackerman, and here comes the rest of the team. No Name finds Bubba up. Tibbers comes back around. Going to flash over the wall. Knocked into the wall there by Prolly. Ackerman still taking up the turret. Ezreal does not quite find the kill, but Broken Shard now getting chased down. Can he get something else to do? Jumps backwards. Good damage from Prolly, but he's now overextended. It's going to be 1 kill picked up. With the knockup, it's going to be 2 kills picked up. The team not there to re-engage. A 2 for nothing for LMQ.
Yeah, Robert X. Lee, as you said, was nowhere to be found in that fight. So as soon as they see an advantage, they just chase relentlessly. And whenever a team is stalled out for so long, you can almost expect that turn to happen because coL.Black was just waiting and waiting and waiting and could never find a moment. Eventually, LMQ is going to find a moment, and they're trying for Baron now.
We'll see if they can do it.
This is very not being sneaky whatsoever. They know they have the smite up. Let's see if Robert can stop it. It was super dangerous.
All right, it's a 2v5 for now, and he's not nearby. Xiao he goes in. Can he find much here? Robert X. Lee is around, but the knockup comes in. Not good for Sivir. Flashes backwards. West Rice just barely alive. Tibbers going to come out, but not find a lot here. So far, 1 for 0.
They're so
Baron
low right now.
Putting the damage still out. Bubba up. Can he find more? Puts the wards over. No, smite it away. No Name takes it. Taking that 3 kills and a Baron unanswered.
Such impressive play right there by LMQ. just relentlessly diving. And it's crazy, you know, because it's a Pantheon Renekton team. You do not expect them to pull ahead 30 minutes into the game. You expect them to win early. But the way they're using their mobility, they're making the scaling not necessarily matter. Xiao is showing us that AP Lulu is a viable thing late into the game. Vasily as well on Ezreal is using his mobility to completely outplay coL.Black. Robert X. Lee has not been involved in these fights. Vasily has been.
Yeah, and how impressive is it? And I guess you kind of said the reason why, but how impressive is it that the team without Sivir is outmaneuvering the team with Sivir there? And it's because Robert has not been there with his team. You talk about coL.Black not really making things happen. Yeah, they're getting a whole bunch of dragons there. That's keeping them their gold lead.
Yeah,
but
that was big.
For the big objectives, though, LMQ are there first, and they're forcing the issue.
Yeah, now that they have the Baron buff, I want to see what use LMQ makes of this one. They're still down in gold, and they're running the risk if they group up of actually fighting 5v5, which they have avoided doing for so long up until this point because they'd lost that early game.
Well, walk around dragon, they see it has been taken. The pink wards get removed. Only 2.5 tank items here for Broken Shard. He's still not a big factor. He started the game 5-2-2. He's now 5-4-4, a significant time later. We talked about Lee Sin being a facilitator. Hasn't facilitated much.
Sivir out of position, but look how fast he is.
Fast Xiao. Broken Shard even faster, though. Finds the Q. Does not follow up.
In. Let's see how fast that Lulu's actually going. At this point with her amount of AP, it's an 82% movement speed boost.
Slightly high.
Yeah, it's 30 base plus 1 per 10 AP, and he's got 516 AP on Lulu.
There you go. Pretty swift dude, no-name Vasily. They just finished killing off the the outer bottom lane turret. So both teams have killed all 3 outer turrets there. Tier 2 mid had already gone for coL.Black, though.
And as far as positioning goes in this game, the Lulu will control it completely. As well, the Glitter Lance is normally an 80% slow that decays down to 0. It's an 80% slow that decays down to 77% because of how much AP she has. It is just an 80% slow for 2 seconds, straight up.
Yeah, pretty powerful stuff right here. These guys now going to continue to remove these minions. They're taking the jungle now as they go for the sieges. The bottom lane looking to be the focus soon. They just cut the minion wave across right here.
Yeah.
And this is clearly going to be the place that they're going to push.
This is a very difficult turret to defend. Ackerman can very easily get in behind the team if he wants to walk around. The wave clear from coL.Black is immense, though. Sivir and Gragas combined won't let minions arrive at that turret. So if LMQ wants to go in, they have to brute force their way in with Renekton.
Okay, well, 1 minute left on Baron. That's 2 minion waves. Here comes the first of those last 2 before Baron times out. coL.Black likely to have this scouted as well. They'll know when they're safe to engage. I don't think coL.Black will look for this without Baron buff gone. Poke down to Robert X. Lee, not spell shielded.
He got him to half health, though,
yeah.
Which means they either brute force in this turret or they try and Pantheon drop behind them. That is a very real possibility on this next wave.
But Robert recalls he has a Guardian Angel, can't afford a home guard. He's running back towards his team. Now, can he get there in time? The minion wave here in about 8 seconds. Barrel's out on the map. Great Glitter Lance harass, taking some damage off on a Westrice.
Yeah, they're not going for it. Oh,
Baron buff is on.
The siege minion this time.
There's a bunch of minions there. We'll probably ult for anything. Westrice in the top line. He's going to go for a little bit. They don't find the engagement of Vasily. He loses health but survives. Arcane Shift keeping him in there just barely.
So close to being a fatal death right there is the ultimate drop from Prawley.
Most deaths are.
So close to being fatal?
Yeah.
Most deaths are fatal. Some of them aren't. Baron buff's still up, though. Cannon Wave not here this time. The ultimate is down on Prawley. They got a lot of damage on a Broken Shard. This is going to continue, Freak.
They're going to try Baron buff now, really timing out on this one. Let's see what they can go for. Here we go. Turret taking a lot of fire force. Ultis are down by 2 of the members. Bubble's going to come out. Not find much. Arcane Shift again. The minions are gone. Westrice down to half Broken Shard as well. And LMQ could just face tank this turret and take it now. They're going to do that. And Westrice a little bit in the bad spot.
There
Man Trap comes by as well. Look at the burst coming through. But not in a good spot. Westrice as well will be falling. 1-0. The siege going to continue the chase. Puppet up heals himself, but still goes down. 5v3 on the map. Robert X. Lee not in a good spot. Likely to fall as well. Has a GA, but that might not matter. Broken Shard, Prawley, the only guys left alive. Robert X. Lee sure to fall. 5 versus 2. Inhibitor under fire.
And it is late enough into the game right now that this could very well be the end of it. Dodges the ultimate by one of them, probably going low.
So he gets more, but it's still a 4 versus 2. Turret's going to fall the siege. Can it continue? Ezreal adding attack speed to the team. Broken Shard, probably the only guys there. Broken Shard comes in, takes a lot of damage, but it buys some time for the inhib. Ackerman lower, 300 health, but he's going to walk out.
All right, so I think there was a danger there of the game being over, but Prawley could get a catch. Huge move there by LMQ. Getting the inhibitor down, and they have taken control now. First gold lead they've had in forever, Freak.
Yeah, exactly. 500 gold for these guys. Let's watch this fight again.
Westrise got stuffed there on his ultimate by a bubble. He tried to ult away as the bubble hit, so he didn't move on Shyvana. Then it's just the slow and the speed continuing from Lulu. She is the catalyst for almost all of this chase. No one on coL.Black can get away. So fast from the Nami, so slow because of the Lulu, and they were just able to kill again and again. Once they got rid of the front line from Westrise, who was no longer a super tank because of the huge amount of items on Lulu and Ezreal, it was just a steamroll for that LMQ team. It's a ridiculous composition that they have here.
And it's incredibly well played by these guys on top of that. So in the aftermath of that fight, LMQ did back off. Probably got a steal on the blue buff, thanks in part to Broken Shard. Gonna go back on their sides of the map. 1 minute until both Dragon and Baron come up. I want to see where these go to, because Baron buff is gone, turrets mostly equalized, there is a dead inhibitor, but these guys are back to equal on gold. Can coL.Black turn this one back around?
It's going to take
sweeps Baron.
A ridiculous turnaround at this point from coL.Black, because if we consider that LMQ has just come back from a 7,000 gold deficit, down 3 turrets to 0, now is up 2 turrets and even in gold, you would just, by logic, say they are way ahead right now, because they were able to play even while they had a deficit. So when they are actually even, they have a huge lead.
Likely do. We'll see what happens with this one. Glitterlance coming back around. Broken Shard looks to make a play, lands a Q. The Sivir comes in, they don't have Ackerman.
No Renekton.
It's a 5 versus 4, can they go? Where's the knockup? Where's it gonna land? Oh, Xiao knocking himself. And the other people around, No Name shows back in for Probably, though. He is low. And on the wrong side of this fight, Westrise, big Dragon does not find anything. Ackerman shows up now into the back lines. What can he find? No Name back in for Westrise. Probably forced to run away. Bubba getting chopped up right there. Good fight for LMQ. It's going to be 1 so far. Flashes going in. Spell shield used. Double kill so far. Westrise falls. LMQ, can they clean this one up? Ackerman jumping in huge. Finds a 3rd for his team. Rabbids League trades one back before he goes down. But that is a 4-for-1 fight.
The chase just never stops. coL.Black used all their move speed to get in. They had nothing left to get back out when they weren't able to finish off the kills. This is a continued push by LMQ.
And they're going to go in now for the top inhibitor. 40 seconds on most of the respawns here. Will they keep on going? Inhibitor now under fire. Minions flooding in from the bottom side of the base. They have super minions if they want to go for the Nexus. Probably 30 seconds has to defend by himself.
Ultimate coming up soon, and there's pretty low people on LMQ, but this looks indefensible.
I don't know if you can find much there. Nexus turret going to be going down. Out of the Nexus itself, they're going to go. This is going to be the Challenger Finals if they can get it. 1 turret goes down, 2 goes down. Probably trying to find something to happen, but the Nexus now undefended, and LMQ going to make it 2-0 over coL.Black.
What a comeback freak by LMQ. It was a rough start.
Yeah.
You can tell they're not super happy about that one, but the comeback itself is something to be proud of.